Sociological Theorists versus the Affordable Care Act by Daniel Manaligot. What the Affordable Care Act does, it provides coverage to people who could not afford it in the sense that they don't pay bill taxes or they don't have jobs at all, which is a huge disadvantage for people who do work, who do get paid, and who do have jobs and careers. This hurts the economy significantly by hardworking citizens who had to be forced to pay extra to people who cannot afford health care. W.E.B. Du Bois, born on 1868 to 1963. He focused on racism and discrimination in the U.S. after the Civil War. In HigherEdMcGraw-Hill.com, Du Bois, earlier in his career, claimed that the race idea was the thought that centered all throughout history and was the main problem of the 20th century was the problem of the color line. He's also one of the founders of the NAACP, or the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Du Bois would have approved Obamacare because he focused on integrations of races, of getting equal jobs and opportunities. Which really means that everyone should get Obamacare, whether they're poor or whether they are a different ethnicity, based off of being an integrated union for the United States. Next up is Emil Durkheim, born on 1858, died on 1917. He focused on making sociology as a separate discipline and to show how social forces affect one's behavior. He identified social integration, which is the degree to which members of a group or society feel united by shared values and other social bonds. He also discovered her social integration patterns of behavior, which features recurring characteristics and events. Now, would he approve of the Obamacare Act? I would say he wouldn't care because he only focused on making sociology as a separate academic discipline, just like I said before. Mark Weber, from 1864 to 1920. A contemporary of Durkheim's sociologic methods, he was a sociologist from Germany who believed that religion bases the central force of social change and not economics. Because of his Protestant beliefs deriving from Calvinism, he created his own methods to financial success through hard work and predestination, which resulted in the birth of capitalism, despite the issue being controversial. Weber would not approve of the Affordable Care Act because of his beliefs, and he would find this law unfair for people who have to pay extra despite being hard-earned workers. C. Wright Mills, from 1916 to 1962. This guy is best known for his analysis of the role of the power elite in U.S. society back in the 20th century. The power elite theory in his writings is a claim that certain people, top leaders of business, politics, and the military, have control of the morality issues. This leaves the middle and lower class nothing. He would believe that the Affordable Care Act is a threat to the nation because of the power elite theory being ran by President Obama and his officials, meaning that Obamacare would have been distributed to the lower class who have no earnings, little to no earnings, but leaving the upper middle class, the middle class, even the high class in total debt. Karl Marx, from 1818 to 1883. Other than developing communism, and Marxism. He's another sociologist who founded the theory of class conflict from capitalism. Now, class conflict is Marx's term for the struggle between the capitalists and the workers. The capitalists, who are known as the bourgeoisie, who owns the means of production at his time, and the mass workers were known as the proletariats, who were the hard workers, the ones who work on the farms and then in the factories. Now, Marx would have approved of the Affordable Care Act because it follows his methods of no classes. This leaves lower class with having unearned coverage, but leaving the upper and middle class paying extra.